All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Cryptosocial. I'm Uncle Bonehead, and this is... Oh, God. Start this over again. I did it again. Three,
yeah, all right. It's all right.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Defluenced. I'm Uncle Bonehead, and this is...
Cryptocracy, aka Alan Taylor.
There we go. We're going to talk about somewhat of what everybody else is talking about. That's FTX. And, but we're going to come at it with a different angle. We've got a couple other news stories we wanted to talk about. So, let's just kick this off. You know about it more than I do, this FTX thing and what it means. So, can you explain that real quick for the people?
Yeah, well, early last week, CoinDesk published an article that demonstrated that FTX, the exchange FTX, which is the second largest crypto exchange in the world, it was until the fallout, and their sister company, Alameda Research, had much closer ties than anyone realized. And what it boils down to really is Alameda Research was an investment company, crypto investment company owned by Sam Bankman-Fried, who also founded the FTX exchange. And so what was happening was they were leveraging the FTX cryptocurrency, FTT, at Alameda Research and backing their investments with that. And when Binance found out, the owner, CZ, or the CEO, chief executive, CZ, tweeted that Binance was going to liquidate its FTT holdings. And that created a stir and a run, and everybody else started cashing out too. And that created huge liquidity issues for the FTX, the exchange. And essentially, it just went bankrupt. There was nothing they could do. At one point, Binance was talking about buying FTX, but then they backed out of that because they realized there was just too much debt, and now the feds are looking into it, and they didn't want that headache. And so that left FTX with nothing but to file for bankruptcy.
So they were kind of padding the pockets of some friends that got found out, and
I wouldn't say they were padding.
Well, they helped cheating.
They were leveraging their investment portfolio with a cryptocurrency that was started by FTX. It was their stable coin, but there's no value to that other than just the fact that it was created out of thin air. So all of those investments that they had were backed by their own cryptocurrency that they created. It's kind of frowned upon in finance to do that.
Okay.
And so since crypto is an unregulated space, nobody was paying that much attention to that. And then all of a sudden, somebody did pay attention. And that just created a snowball effect.
And then that got the feds involved.
Yeah, the feds got involved just to investigate what financial shenanigans may have taken place. I don't know that they're going to do anything. It doesn't look like at this point that there's no file. There have been no charges filed. So there have been no criminal
but it's not.
investigation.
But what they did isn't technically illegal. It's just a bad practice. Is that what I'm understanding?
I would say that if they were like a traditional finance company doing that, they would be in hot water.
Okay.
The situation is complicated by the fact that Sam Bankman-Fried was also the second largest donor to the Democratic Party. And that's got a lot of people upset too. So,
I did read something about that. They donated something like $50 million or something like that.
Yeah, big time donor to the Biden administration's presidential campaign, and his parents are bigwigs in that arena, and so we don't know if there's going to be any charges made. It's looking like at this point, maybe not.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that since they're the current sitting administration, that there's not going to be anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy situation because they've gone after other crypto companies for much less,
Right.
And like Tornado Cash, all that guy did was create a product, a software package.
Yeah.
And they got him in jail.
Yep.
So it's an interesting thing. What FTX has done is shaken the confidence in crypto again of people who might have already had second doubts or who were sold out. It really ruffled a lot of feathers of the entrenched crypto crowd, the power brokers in crypto. A lot of them are very up, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I totally understand. I'm not even in it, but I'm kind of upset about it because it's another black eye. It gives these people that don't understand it and don't get into it more fuel to say, well, it's a scam. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
And it's not it's not all like that.
No, you're right. And these are high profile cases. And so when it happens with a company the size of FTX, and before that it was Celsius and Voyager Digital, these are big companies, high profile companies that were insolvent. They couldn't make good on their debts. And, when you have a huge run on the money and people start cashing out, they start creating calls and you can't back it because you don't have the funds to do so. That's a huge red flag, and it mars the reputation of legitimate companies in the space.
Yep. That it does. So, how can this... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? How can this actually help out the decentralization movement? What can be...
Well, one interesting thing that has developed in the last day or so is people are moving their crypto off of exchanges. Something like $3 billion in Bitcoin was moved off of exchanges in one day.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's the most that has been moved in a single day in probably over a year. And that's pretty significant, I think. I think people are realizing that these centralized exchanges are not as safe as they make themselves out to be. When the second largest crypto exchange goes belly up in that short a time, I mean, it was like within a week, it was just plundered. And when that happens, it just sends a signal that, look, we really need to pay more attention to where we're keeping our crypto. And And the rule is if you don't own the keys, you don't own the crypto.
That's right.
So, people that have their crypto locked up on these exchanges are starting to wake up now and realize, man, if that happened at Coinbase or at KuCoin or Gemini or at, one of these other exchanges that are popular, then, I would be out all this money, however much money they're holding there.
Right.
And well, they're moving their money to private, non-custodial wallets.
So like hardware wallets.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think that's huge. Yeah, I think that's huge. What it means is people are losing confidence in centralized institutions, even in the crypto space. And I think you could start to see more activity on decentralized exchanges. And what that might mean for decentralization long term is more people really starting to understand the implications of holding money anywhere other than in a wallet that you own and control, and using decentralized resources to move it.
So it's the equivalent of the old stuff your money in a mattress or buried in the backyard.
Yeah, you can see it that way. Yeah, because if you have a ledger or a treasury, if you have a hardware wallet of some type, that's what you control. That you own that. Those are your keys. It's your digital money now. You have control over where it goes, what happens to it, and who has access to it, and where you send it. That's both good and bad, because you can lose your hard drive, or you can send money to the wrong wallet. If you're sending money, you can write down your password, seed phrase, or keys and get it wrong. So there's danger there, but it's much more safer there than it is on a centralized exchange that could go belly up in a week.
Makes sense to me.
Another thing that's happening is some of these exchanges are, and Binance kicked this off as one of the first ones, but others are now starting to do it as well. They're doing what they call proof of reserve, and they're opening up their books, showing some transparency to show that they are solvent, that they have the backing to make good on any calls that are made. So when people start liquidating their accounts or withdrawing crypto, then they can back that. So exchanges are now starting to show proof that they have good financial positioning.
Nice.
So that's huge. That's huge news, and everybody's talking about that now. And I think in the long term, what you're going to see is people being more scrutinizing about projects and claims. One of the largest YouTubers, BitBoy, just a few days ago, made a video suggesting that, actually saying outright that token promotions are hurting the crypto space, and he's going to be much more careful about which tokens he promotes on his YouTube channel. He's not going to do any paid promotions anymore. He's only going to do reviews where he can be more objective and point out the good and the bad and whatever, but he won't take any money for token promotions.
That's actually very smart on his point.
Yeah, and I think it's things like this and other incidents that have happened this year that are causing that to happen. I would say there's probably going to be more people doing that. Anthony Pompliano, Pomp, real big guy in the space.
Yeah,
He did something similar with his newsletter. He's not going to do any more promotions either. He's not taking any more advertising sponsors or anything like that. I think he's going straight subscription.
nice.
So, I think I think we'll see a lot more of that.
That's cool. Next thing I wanted to talk about was on your Cryptocracy newsletter from yesterday. You linked to a report from Invez.com. The U.S. Crypto Report, which states in the U.S. are most ready for the crypto adoption. And looking through these, and it's like on number one, it says Florida. Its crypto ready score is 9.35. And Florida is the most prepared for crypto adoption with 9.35 out of 10. And it's because of, where is it? Looks like it's mainly Miami. It's got Bitcoin ATMs per person is 14.6 ATMs per 100,000 people.
Yeah. They've got a lot of Bitcoin ATMs. The Miami mayor is a huge believer in crypto. He takes his salary in Bitcoin.
Does he really? That's pretty cool.
They also have a sporting arena down there that has, it was the FTX sporting arena. And I'm sure that's probably going to change now, but FTX is of their crypto, of their sports arena. But you're seeing more of this. I think crypto companies doing more big scale sponsorships like that. And Texas is second. So you got Florida and Texas right at the top. And we were talking about that a minute ago, you and me. These are the two states with no income taxes, right?
That's interesting.
They have no capital gains tax, so you can invest.
Nice.
You don't have to pay taxes to the state if you see a huge gain in crypto, your crypto investments. You still got to pay the IRS, but you don't have to pay your state, which a lot of states have their own capital gains taxes.
Right. Which I've never really had to pay attention to because I've never had investments.
Yeah, well, if you don't have any investments, then you don't have to pay any capital gains tax. But that's it. That's pretty cool. I like that study. Florida and Texas and Illinois are the three states right at the top. They're most crypto ready. And then on the ones on the bottom, you got Vermont, and West Virginia, and Montana. We won't talk about them. And so it's a pretty good study. You can go to cryptocracy.substack.com and see the little write-up there. I've got a link to the article at Invez, and you can read that for yourself.
Now the other thing, we were about 15 minutes in. The Hive today, I know I don't think we've ever talked about this on the show, but Hive Today is a newsletter. It's on Hive, and it's about Hive, but it's also got a Substack, too. I'll link to the Substack. They started it like 7 months ago on Substack, and then didn't do anything for a while, but they put one out yesterday, and they're talking about the app formerly known as Quello has been rebranded to River.io, and it's live. It's like a question and answer app where you can ask questions, and people ask kind of like Quora,
Right.
but it's for Hive, which is kind of cool.
I never heard of Quora. Okay. All right. So it's a Q&A app, and now they're on the Hive network. Awesome.
Well, Quella was always on there, but it kind of faded. Wasn't really doing anything, so they changed it to Rever.io. Sorry, Rever.io.
Okay.
Rever.io.
Reveria.
Yeah.
So they rebranded.
Yeah,
okay. Rebrand.
Yeah, rebrand. And you log in with your Hive wallet or your Hive signer, Hive keychain, whatever. I think it is.
Yeah.
Hive keychain pops up for me, and it looks a whole lot better than Quello did.
Cool.
And there's questions, business questions, cryptocurrency, dating and relationships, development, Hive, life, money. It looks pretty cool.
I'll have to go.
Yeah. Splinter Nance is on there. Go ask him a question. What's the best podcast in the world?
I was thinking I could ask, is this the place where I can ask questions?
Wow. Another thing, there is now another node in the U.S. Deathwing.me opened a node. So if you're having issues with your nodes on Hive, try that one.
All right. Yeah. Hive API node, Deathwing. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. We can't have too many nodes.
Oh, yeah. And then there is several new backup witnesses came online. Keys Defender, DIY Hub, Skate Hive, and Sloth Buzz.
Sloth Buzz.
They
don't move.
Making that. I don't know if I'd want to use that witness. It's awfully slow.
That's funny.
Just kidding if you guys are listening. And then they also linked to the HiveX Ledger hardware wallet.
Oh yeah. There you go.
So there's also, they talk about Hiveblow Pomo. Okay, I just gotta get this out of the way with the other podcasters and other bloggers and your month-long challenges. But the Blow Pomo, or what's the other one for November? The Blow
Nano.
Yeah, Nano Pomo, Blow Momo, Hobo Popo, Hobo La Bloopa. Just say a blog, a November blog contest, challenge, whatever. Don't do these stupid Blow Pomo, no mo, FOMO. It's annoying. So, anyways, it's a challenge going on right now to write 30 posts or record 30 podcasts in 30 days. So once a day. I've always wanted to do one of these, but I don't have time to do a podcast or write a post every single day for a month.
Right. Well, you can just do a 2-minute, podcast. Just show up and say, "Hey, I'm Uncle Bonehead. I'm here to give you your Hive devotional for the day."
Your daily devotional.
That's a go decentralization. Ooh. See y'all tomorrow.
Decentralize all the things.
So, yeah, there's exciting things going on in decentralization. I think Hive is positioned to to onboard new people when the time's right. When what happens in crypto is when the bear market comes, people leave. They get cold and they walk away. But when the bull market hits and prices start going up, then people jump on board, right? So when that happens, I think Hive is well positioned to get some of those people onboarded.
Yeah, I do too. I think a lot of things when, with the recent Twitter meltdown and what do they call it? Migration. Hashtag Twitter migration. Going to Mastodon. And I'm over here thinking, Hive's there and it's better. I understand what these people are doing and why they're going, but I don't think they'd realize what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
Because when they go into, they're thinking they're leaving Twitter because Elon comes out and says he wants to make it more free speech friendly. So immediately everybody thinks, oh, the Nazis are coming. And they're going to go over to Mastodon or Hive or whatever, to these decentralized, social networks, and thinking that they're going to expect to walk into something like Twitter used to be, or Twitter is, and it's not. They're going to get They're going to get a rude awakening when they get over there and they find out that they're not being coddled. They're not going to have people, showing them a curated feed. When they find out that they have to curate and listen and decide what to watch or read on these, whether it's the Fediverse or Hive, or Cryptosocial, and they find out that they're the ones that have to curate themselves what they're going to see, they're not going to like it. They're going to say, oh, this is full of Nazis. It's like, no, it's just been there to where if you don't agree with it, that's up to you to block it. Somebody else isn't going to block it for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. And typically what people do is they complain and they want somebody else to solve the problem. But the problem isn't that this stuff exists. It's not going to go away just because somebody bans it off of Twitter. It's not going to change people's hearts and minds.
Nope.
There's still going to be racists. There's still going to be this seedy element, people that, and a lot of them may not even be truly racist. They're just trolls,
Oh, yeah.
They're troublemakers. Maybe they are racist, but they're trolls. They're just trying to stir something up.
Yep.
So what's the answer to that? Well, being level-headed and people who are of a level head, joining forces to downvote that stuff away. Get it, take action. Don't expect someone else to. I just sent out a link in Discord here to you directly on the age of social media is ending. It's the title of an article in The Atlantic.
Okay.
And that was just published, I believe, today, a couple of days ago, maybe. And it was a really good article. They go into some history. It was November 10th. They go into some history of social media and talk about how Facebook is on the decline. Twitter is in chaos right now with the Elon Musk purchase and takeover and all of that. And the whole premise of the article, it's a pretty long one, but it goes into some detail about how the age of social media is coming to an end. And I think it's a good article. I think they make some good points. But I would say I don't think social media is coming to an end. I do think it is changing. It's transforming. And I think in the next stage of the internet, Web3, you're going to see different ways of networking with people online in a more seamless kind of fashion. The web itself is going to be a social environment. It's not going to be platform specific, where if you want to make new friends, or you want to broadcast your opinions about everything under the sun, you don't go to a platform. You will be the platform.
That's right.
The creators themselves will have the platform. This is my argument in my next book, Web3 Social: How Creators Are Changing the World Wide Web. And this is what I talk about, is how social media is transforming and changing as a result of blockchain and cryptocurrency technology. And the next iteration of social media is going to be a social graph, where you take ownership of your data, you take ownership of your assets, your digital assets, your content, your identity. And if you want to move from one platform to another, you can port all of that and take it with you. You can't currently do that on Facebook, Twitter, and all these platforms, because they're walled gardens, they're silos. They own the content. You just get the privilege of posting to their platform so that they can monetize you. But Web3 is going to allow creators more freedom and more power to monetize their own content without going to these platforms.
Okay. It makes sense. It's not going to be, I say it's not going to be like, like I know exactly, but I think that you're right, and that it's not going to be a certain centralized platform somewhere like Twitter or Facebook or YouTube or even Odyssey for that matter, or even Hive. It's going to be, everything's going to end up being connected, and you're going to be able to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all going to fall together eventually to protocols.
Still going to have. I think you're still going to have platforms. You're still going to have static web pages. You're still going to have that, but I think the dominant way people are going to be using the web of the future, maybe a few years yet from it, but I think what's going to happen is the web itself is going to be a huge social graph that allows you to own your content, monetize your content any way you see fit, using the tools that will be available. That will include various cryptocurrencies, different kind of tokens, non-fungibles, whatever else comes down the pike later on. But it will be an interconnected network of social graphs.
Yep. So since you, how long, much longer do we gotta wait for this book?
It's coming soon, man. It's coming soon. Probably right after Christmas, right after the new year.
Cool. Sweet.
So, yeah. So I just created the cover, and feedback on that. I know what to do about the cover. We're in the process of formatting and putting together the marketing plan and all that. And so we'll launch out of the gate right toward the beginning of the year.
Cool. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to read it. You should do an audio version of it too.
Yeah, well, it's coming. It's all coming, man. It's all coming. We're in the work.
There you go. Well, we are right about 30 minutes, our target spot. Anything else you can think of?
Good episode. Enjoyed check this stuff. The world is changing, and I think it's exciting to see.
Yes, it is. It's definitely different. That's for sure. But you guys can find us on pretty much anywhere free podcasts are sold. Email us at podcast@defluenced.online. Go check out the website. I actually paid for that, so if you guys would like to, maybe give us some feedback on it, whether it looks good, it's easy to navigate, whatever. I do need to add some more stuff to it, but we will eventually. Follow us on Hive. Follow us pretty much everywhere.
Follow us where we can be followed.
Oh yeah, don't forget our Discord server. I had somebody pop in the server the other day and say, tag me and say, "Are you still around here?"
Yeah. Yes, we're around here, and we're gonna stay around here. Yeah, and don't forget cryptocracy.substack.com. Hey, come and subscribe, and I'll be sharing a lot more information about what's going on in the crypto world with original articles, news curation, some discussion threads, and some other cool things coming down the pike.
Absolutely. We'll catch you guys again next time. Be good. Be safe. Don't stick your finger where you wouldn't stick your face.